Hi everyone, I'm Cassie and this is episode 3 of my allotment journey. And weirdly today I'm not actually at the allotment, either of them, although I might be later. I thought it might be interesting and fun to see the place that most of my plants in the allotment start off, and so I thought it might be nice to have a little tour of my greenhouses. Oh gosh, I cringe as I say that. It sounds so decadent, doesn't it? Greenhouses. The thing is, I have a lovely new greenhouse that I got last year as a massive present to myself, and that replaced a much older greenhouse which had collapsed in the storms after we had freed it from lots of ivy, which had actually turned out to be holding it up. So we transported the frame of that one to the other side of the garden and then gradually rebuilt it from free glass panes that we got on Facebook Marketplace. So ending up that we now have 2 greenhouses. So yeah, I shall show you them anyway. So it's such a busy time of year in the greenhouse at the moment. I sometimes feel a little bit trapped in the greenhouse and not able to get to the allotments because I'm still waiting for that magic time when the frosts will have definitely passed, although it feels like they've passed now, but yeah, holding on. And so the greenhouse is getting increasingly full as I pot things up and so on. Anyway, let's go and have a look, shall we? So I shall take you with me. So let's walk across to the main greenhouse. Oh, try not to trip over. So that's my greenhouse there. You can see it's so lovely and warm that the vents are open. I'll take you over. I think the lovely wheelbarrow. And my little tub of carrots that are in need of a water that I did in a lovely little spiral. Something like that. Hopefully they're going to be nice when they come up. So yeah, this is the greenhouse here. Step back a bit and so you can see it a bit more closely. Yeah, it is, you will not be surprised to hear, a bit of a mess, but that's life. So it's looks just like such a mess there, but that looks nice, doesn't it? So this is my greenhouse and the things growing in it. That is not the correct time. It's too much of an effort to get that clock down and replace the battery on the clock because it's just doing some really weird times. But it's quite useful because it's got a hygrometer. Actually, I don't use that term very terribly much. But the thermometer is really useful. So you can see it's a really, really warm 32 degrees nearly in here, which means that I am constantly running to the tap with the watering can, even though it's got automatically opening windows, and I've opened the vents as well down that side anyway. Can't really get to that side so much, but maybe I should. So yeah, you'll see that it's absolutely packed full of stuff that's here, and I'll talk you through some of it. So yeah, here I've got my tomato seedlings, and well, actually that's some of my tomato seedlings. I have a second round down there and another round down there. Obviously you would like tomatoes, but some of them are ones that I'm going to carry on growing in here in the greenhouse. Are ones which I want to grow outside on the allotments, and those are the ones I've been focusing on, looking at particular breeds of tomato that are blight resistant. So two ones that come to mind are Crimson Crush and Consuelo, which have been bred in, I believe, in North Wales, where I live, to be particularly blight resistant. So I've got quite a few of those and a few others beside that I've researched to try to avoid the blight, which has got my tomatoes in the end twice, 2 years in a row now. So I'm hopeful, because there's going to be a lot planted at one of the extra bits of land I've been asked to look at. We'll look at that another day. So yeah, there's lots of tomatoes. Got my sweet corn plants, which are getting really anxious to go out, but I'm holding off. There's all sorts of conflicting advice and people saying, oh, let's risk it, let's go with it. But I'm holding off because I don't want them killed by a late night frost. Then here, rather sadly, we've got a few globe artichoke seedlings, which I sowed to try to fill out any gaps. In the first allotment that I showed you, we've just got one rather sad one. I might try and put a few in there to try and replace those. I've got lots of different flowers seeding there that are growing. What else have I got? Yeah, oh, of course, the squashes, the courgettes, the watermelons, the cucumbers, pumpkins. So there's some there. There are, oh, this is not very well planned, is it? Because there are some there and there are some here. And I really tried to be moderate this year. But it still seems like quite a lot. It's just that some years the so I would say slugs have a tendency to go for them, and so again it's a game of how long do I wait before I put them out? Do I make sure that I've got some spares to grow if some get eaten by slugs? So that's what's going on there. And then here we've got quite a lot of different chilli plants, because I just decided I really wanted to try to grow chillies this year, and actually I don't even really like chillies, to be honest. So that's really silly, isn't it? But I did think they look so beautiful that either I can give them away or I can make them into sort of beautiful hanging dried chilies for Christmas and things like that. That probably sounds a little bit ridiculous now, but there we go. Lots of chilli plants, and they may not all come to anything. Amongst the chilli plants, I've also got some, these I do really love, aubergine plants. So lots of different sorts there. So that's actually just a cluster of ones that were left over when I potted them on originally. I thought, I didn't want to throw any away, so I bunged them all in a big pot, and that seems to work quite well actually. But I've also got quite a lot. Here's one here. What's this one? Is that organic diamond one, which is an unusual sort of aubergine. I think they're a different shade and colour, and I can't remember what they are, so that'll be fun when those come up. So yeah, lots of different things there. And then they're all up ready to be continually potted on and go on. And then up here, still in the propagator, just to get them first started off, or they'll be coming off soon, in loo rolls, my bean plants. Lots of different beans, French beans. What are those little ones? Bolotti beans, yeah, Bolotti beans. And here I've got some Gigantes beans as well, that I'm waiting to come up. So yeah, beans go. Oh, there's some more in this propagator here as well. So they're all waiting to either germinate or then be potted on until it's ready to go out. Here on my little workstation, I've got lots of little ones that I've spotted that I need to do something with. So, oh dear, these were tucked away at the back. I'm really going to need some detangling and hope I can save some snapdragons. And these are, what are they, cucumbers, I think. Yeah, mini munch cucumbers. Now these grew, they're not actually promoted as being an outdoor one, but they grew fantastically outside a couple of years ago. So if I build a little climbing frame for them, let's hope we can do the same this year. So lots of these ready to go as soon as it's possible to the allotment, but you kind of have to keep on sowing more seeds, so to fill in the gaps actually, and also just to indulge your desire to do different things. So there's all sorts of other little seedlings here that I'll be using to fill in gaps. Some more beans, different sorts of beans there. So yeah, and then here, like for example, I've got a little cluster. Now, if I were being really positive, I'd say they were micro veg, grown for the purpose of eating small, which I could do. And they go really nicely and give you lots of vitamins in salads. But also they're kind of spares in case everything runs out. Oh, here we've got celery and celeriac, little seedlings. Some cosmos under there. So yeah, lots of things here. And then along here, I left them in from last year in case I wanted to use them again. My hanging strings ready to go down into the base of tomato plants for them to grow up. That worked really well last year, except for the bottom of the string, because it was twine. I shouldn't say string, should I? It's twine, right? It kind of rotted, and so I've now invested. I'm thinking this is looking really good actually. Let me show you. Yeah, I got some of this, and it's almost like t-shirt material. I think that's going to work really well for them to grow up this year. So I've got a bit of a job to replace them there. So yeah, I'm going to just pause this for a moment and then walk over to the other greenhouse so you can see what's happening there. So yeah, here's the second greenhouse, which is, in my way of doing things, actually the first greenhouse rebuilt. It's in a nice nestling mess of ground elder and dandelions and a couple of bags of potatoes. There's always a potato cropping up somewhere. Oh, and this is even more of a mess than the other one, but it will be brought gradually into more use. So this is kind of my overflow area. It still gets really quite warm. Let's see what it is. I found oh gosh, that says it's 35 in here, but I don't think it is. It doesn't feel as warm. I never trust these things. Anyway, yeah, so here on the floor I've got my dahlias, which I potted up a couple of weeks ago now. So some of those are coming on really nicely, and I've pinched off the tops of them right there so that the two top shoots come up and make more flowers. Here I've got some probably very sweaty, if vegetables could sweat, which I know they can't, brassicas, which I've kind of run out of room to put into, but I will find space for them. I've talked a couple of times about the asparagus seedlings that I want to put into those beds where there are some crowns at the moment, to fill in the gaps and just kind of belt and braces approach to getting some asparagus, and probably end up with too much or none at all. And then on this side, I've got lots of sunflowers. There were some in the other greenhouse as well, you might have spotted, but these are in their pots and needing constant watering. Oh, let's see if I can water and film at the same time. Gosh, I really am not an expert at this. Oh, sorry, little one. Yeah. Yeah, so sunflowers, and then a couple of seed snails, which is a technique which has become quite trendy at the moment. So I've got some marigolds that are growing beautifully there and waiting to go out to accompany the tomatoes and parsley. And here's, I knew I had some more squash. There's a load of tray of squash there as well. You see pumpkins and butternut squash and patty pans, marrows. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm really going to be overwhelmed, I think, if these all come off. A little bit of oregano tucked in there. So yeah, this is the other greenhouse. So I hope that was interesting. I always like to just see how other people have theirs set up, and I'm very fond of my greenhouses, but I do find I'm spending an awful lot of time running back and forth with them at the moment, watering them. I don't know how I managed when I was working, but there we go. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to see you again soon. And as I all say, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon. Bye bye.